On top of Old Horror Hill, in a secret laboratory, Professor Weirdo and Count Kook were in their monstrous glory. 6 drops of the essence of terror, 5 drops of sinister sauce. When the stirring's done...
Alright, welcome everybody. This is a new format we're doing. It's called TMR Launge. See, the podcast thing is much due to my OCD done in a very structured manner. We probably write out 5 pages of scripts and ideas and structure it some way. And sometimes we just want to talk and have fun, and we're a bit lazy. And so this is what we're going to do when we have nice house guests or no plans for anything elaborate. And with us today, we got Krishool here, who has his own podcast. And perhaps he's one of the inspirations for the TMR podcast because he had me and Chris on.
Oh, stop it. You started your own podcast because you're an exhibitionist like me and you love talking. Come on, let's be real over here.
Well, there's an element of that.
I may have had something to do with it.
You're an excuse, and a rather helpful one. But again, we have no plan, no clue what we're going to talk about. So let's start. Let's start with you, dude.
Let's find out who your corporate sponsor is today.
My corporate sponsor? Yeah, we were just talking a while ago just about how when you're trying to get something going, like a podcast, you kind of have to choose between marketing yourself, doing the whole corporate kind of like, I want to be all proper and not say any controversial stuff and only not talk about UFOs or talk about religion. Or you can kind of just be real and talk about what the hell you want to talk about. And I think that's what podcasts are about. The whole idea is that people get to see what you're really like they're having a conversation with you. And you're not trying to tailor your information to a particular demographic. You're just speaking. People listen to a podcast and they know who you are, as opposed to me putting on this voice over here and saying, "Oh yes, as you can see, I'm an intellectual and I only talk about very, very important things." And
no,
I don't want you to get the right.
I gotta disagree with that in some way. In a point that when we talk about a subject that we want to pick, we got to study it, we got to go through it. So you're not really getting our personal opinion, because sometimes we do have to play devil's advocate, even if we agree with what we're talking about, because we want that conversation to flow backwards and forwards. But now, in this particular podcast, we can talk about anything. We can say whatever we feel like.
It should be y'all.
The idea really, behind the structure is, if you're talking about a topic, you see, we live in a world of opinions. People go out, they watch the news, and they're told what to think, and then they parrot it out. Or maybe they watch alternative media, which also tells them what to think. It might even be true, but they never actually check out the facts. They just parrot out what they hear. And,
most of the time.
I'd like to start, podcasts with, if we're talking about a topic, I'd like to dig up some actual facts. And then you see, well, this is how some people think the facts connect. This is how other people think they connect. And sort of this is what our speculation is. But, people learn something that they didn't know about the topic. But,
I respect that. You don't want to be giving out, crappy information out there. That's one of the things I love about the Joe Rogan experience. Every time they bring up an issue, they're always on their laptop, checking out facts and trying to get the information as legit as they can. Because, when you're doing a podcast, it's actually getting a lot of viewers. You send out spurious information, then a few days later, everyone's like, you don't know what you're talking about. This is completely wrong. You'll have physicists that are challenging you on your notions of how the universe works and things like that. And yeah, the fact of the matter is that people are going to call you out on your shit in this day and age. So you better make sure that you got your,
But then there's complex world situations and issues, and then there's people. I think people's stories and their perspectives are about as interesting. Maybe not as valuable for you to live your life tomorrow and make decisions about, how your family is going to survive and thrive, but certainly as interesting as just about anything. And Krishool is one of the most interesting people I know.
Oh, stop it, man. That's
Dude,
ridiculous.
no, seriously,
tell us. Completely insane, bro.
Yeah. It's not about the views, man. It's the shit you do. All right, this dude started off doing video game design and programming, and then wound up in IT, and then wound up wanting to be a singer, and he is a singer and a performer, and then now he has a podcast.
Well, and now I've heard
I have to look at it look, deep down, I've always been the exhibitionist, been a performer. My main passion has always been music, performing, serenading senoritas as you do. But you know how it is. Your parents always want you to become a doctor. I'm sure as hell not going to be a doctor, not smart enough for that. So you end up kind of meeting halfway and doing some kind of nerdy topic. And I always loved the idea of creating as a kid. And I got into programming computer games and QBasic and all that kind of stuff. But within all of that, I always wanted to be a singer, but I just figured it's not practical for me to finish high school and get a job as and do some performing arts course. It's not really going to do anything. So I just went about doing my course, and then I realized how much I hated software engineering, and look, eventually ended up slipping into what I really love doing, which is performing, singing, dancing, acting, being a complete fool. And,
Dude, like, I mean, all right, let's, I think we can get into something quite interesting here. We live in an environment where we're drowning in pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
And very often I'd say it's for the worse. Just the other day I was filling in this technology class, and there's a bunch of girls there that's saying, "Oh, we're drawing this. Do you mind if we listen to the radio?" Turn on the commercial radio, and I don't know which one was, some crap, Nova or Fox or something like that. And literally, man, for an hour straight, these girls are singing along to it. They know every word of every freaking song. And I can't tell the difference. They all sound the same. It's always this doof, doof bass line. And it's this, baby.
Well, what's wrong with that, man?
But, like, seriously.
What's wrong with people enjoying themselves, having a good time?
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm talking... We've been making good music for 50 years, man. Like Jimi Hendrix, it's been a while. And there's a million genres. And yet, you're in a classroom, and this level of conformity is such that out of the choice of a million artists and a billion songs, they all know the same 20, and they're all chanting along.
Well, can I add to that?
Yeah.
When you go into a workshop, right, where guys my age, I'm in my 40, I'm 40 now.
Yeah.
And I walk into these workshops, and this guy's...
bro, you just turned 40 yet?
No, I'm a bit old.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, you look younger.
Yeah, I know. So I go to these workshops, and I see guys my age, and they're working in their desk and doing their job, and they're playing a different radio station, commercial as well, but they play all the 80s and 90s hits, right? And these guys know them. In the back of their mind, they grew up with that stuff, and they've played them their whole life. And I think the thing is, to me, I hate it. I can't stand the music. I mean, I love the music at that time, but I will not go to work and listen to it. Because what I think it does is it just keeps them in that mindset of, when they were growing up, the good times and all the stuff, and they're working these mundane, boring jobs. But in the back of their mind, they're going, when this song came out, I was doing this, and I was going out with her. It's a mind control thing. I'm 100% sure it's to keep you in that perpetual, everything's okay.
That is, we've kind of opened up, like, how pervasive and, in a way, conformist and possibly even mind controlling.
I personally think it is.
True.
But some of it is awesome. Like, there are, I would say, 1 in 10 pop songs I'm gonna, like, jump around when I hear. I mean, much of the stuff that Michael Jackson did, Guns N' Roses were mainstream, Nirvana was mainstream, but even the odd Kanye West song, I really like. But look, here's a question that I have.
Is it mind control?
How do you? No. Like, how does somebody make it? Like, where do these people get...
Oh, this is a really good question.
Pulled up into the system,
I was just you're talking about the music industry in particular?
Yeah.
Well, I would say at the moment, it's changed a lot over the last 10 years because of these reality shows like X Factor, Australian Idol, all that kind of stuff. And I suppose I can speak quite openly about this kind of stuff because I recently just went through the auditions and all that.
You've been through a few.
Several.
You've been through what?
My band did X Factor a while back. We made a boot camp, and then I tried out again. I've done Australian Idol a few times, Pop Stars, all that kind of stuff. Met a few of them, and recently I went through the process. And people, first of all, to answer your question, right? Most of the people that we see making in the industry in this day and age, like really big time. I mean, besides a few, obviously it's different. Obviously on some level, but for the most part, what I'm trying to say is that we see most of the big artists coming out through these reality TV shows or through shows like Neighbours and where they get all this viewership, because it's so hard for an artist to get that kind of sway unless, of course, you're well known. That's why, unless, of course, you're in something like the X Factor, it's really hard to get the kind of fan base that you require in order to get signed to a massive label. And it's people have a completely, like, misguided attitude as to what goes on in the show. Like, after recently doing it is not a reality TV show in the sense that they're basically not just filming what's going on there. It's like a movie, and you're all playing roles. I mean, the amount of times they will get you to do something over and over again, like you just gone through one round, you're like, yes, that's freaking awesome, I can't believe you got through that. And your friends are there, and they're like, the cameraman's like, hey man, can you just do that again, what you just did, so I can get that? That was what, you want me to do that? Yeah, it's just perfectly, just as you did it right there. And you see people reacting this shit, because they're not actors. It looks so fake and so awkward. Every single thing that you do, from walking out to register to practicing. It's not scripted in the sense they won't tell you exactly what to do, but they'll tell you exactly what to do.
Yeah, unless you're doing what you're meant to be doing, they'll tell you, can you just like walk a little bit?
I know. I look, just over the weekend, I went through the X Factor auditions. It is one of the most draining processes because there are all these preliminary rounds. What people don't realize is that there are so many other rounds that you have to go through even before you get to the freaking judges and you perform. You got to go through the singing coaches. You got to go through the producers, the executive producers. Then they make sure that you're gonna have the right image, all this kind of stuff. And then even when you get through to boot camp and you make the final 12 before you,
If you ever wound up in front of like one of those panels of judges,
absolutely, several times, man.
Like,
it's dumb. Like,
tell me about the first time.
First time I went up, really, really psyched. Went with my friends. I had like 6, 8 of them there, which wasn't a good idea because they had to wait the entire day with me, and I felt their nervousness for me, and it's like all your friends are waiting on you, the last 12 hours just before you go up in front of the judges, and you're like, oh shit, they're really counting on me right now. It was really, really stressful, and look, you finally get up there, and you're completely psyched up. The producers have told you that, look, you're absolutely amazing and all this kind of stuff. Then you finally get in front of the judges, and it is so. First of all, it is so unbelievably hard, right, to get into the next round. The judges, you need to absolutely blow those judges away. Like, even if you're let's say you put on a really, really good performance and all this kind of stuff, unless of course you meet their criteria. I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're thinking, but I feel as if, look, when I first went up, look, 2 of the judges ended up saying yes, the other 2 said no. The crowd was really much on my side. They're all saying, come on, yeah. And the guy, Sebastian, was a little reluctant to put me through, but finally said yes because the crowd was on my side. Ronan, who I freaking worship, man, like, he was like, look, man.
You perform in front of these people.
Yeah,
wow, man.
He said I was.
So who was on the panel?
Well, when I was there, it was Ronan, Guy Sebastian, Natalie, what's her name? I can't remember. Yeah, and then this pop stars girl, who was the girl that actually really liked me. She just said yes straight away, but Ronan gave me the biggest hard time because I'm really arrogant when I'm on stage. I'm like, yo, what's my name? All that kind of shit, we love you, all that kind of shit. I try to play it up like hardcore, and Ronan freaking hated that shit. He's like, you come across as, you think you're better than you actually are, and you come across as cocky.
You have to be.
No, he actually said that to me, and I'm like, oh man, how do I respond to this? And bottom line was, he thought I was a bit too kind of, full on, didn't like me that much. Ended up saying no. Nat, just definitely, just didn't like me. Ended up saying no, and Guy reluctantly said yes. Other girl said no, and
so you got 2.
Yeah, sorry, I got 2, and it was such an emotional bummer because for the last several months, I mean, there's the whole audition process, right? Here's the thing: it starts. Let's say it might start in December, okay? Go through all of these auditions, right? And then in May, you might, after going through all these preliminary auditions, you finally get up to the judges, and then you perform. And it's like throughout all of that, you're going through all of these different stages, and like you build up so much nervous energy, just hoping that this is going to come to fruition. And you finally get to the day, and sometimes it feels like it's such a tremendous thing that you have to overcome just to even get on the show. I mean, I know people that, I know I'm digressing a lot over here, but I know people that have actually gone into boot camp and made the final 12 and haven't even been featured on the show at all. There was a girl, a lot of this, they won't even show a lot of the performers unless, of course, there's something really, really interesting about them. In fact, you're not going to get on that show based on 3 things. You have to, basically, you get on that show if you're in one of these 3 categories. If you're either really, really entertaining, you're really, really bad, or you're really, really good. And there are a lot of people.
There's one more.
What?
I noticed because my wife watches The Voice, right? No, I don't watch it. But she said any girl over the age of 30, doesn't matter what she looks like, she's not getting in, right? That's it. And she says, I can't see the judges every time. They're supposed to be listening to The Voice, but they're not because they're coming in and they're going, oh no, she's not good enough.
Is that all right? Well, I don't know.
And
I've watched the show like once, and to be honest, like the one thing that kind of hurts me, like this notion that you're right, that you're vying for the approval of these 4 people, right, who generally themselves
aren't great.
Were just products. I mean, somebody liked their face or some aspect of their voice, gave them some songs to sing, and occasionally, I'm sure Ronan Keating wrote a bunch of his music, but for the most part, people there. Natalie Imbruglia is talented, but I don't know, what the fuck, Guy Sebastian, some guy with an afro
Look,
singing
they're all
songs,
accomplished
like,
singers, all
but-
accomplished performers, no doubt about it. I'm not taking any away from them.
Can
I'm just saying that it's a really hard-grueling process.
But
Yeah.
I'm trying to say this, you're trying to get approval of these 4 people, and you're trying to make yourself sound appealing to this broad.
You've got to be different though. You've got to bring something
No,
that's
here's
different to everyone else.
my thing,
yeah.
like, Amanda Palmer, you know Amanda Palmer.
No.
That's my point, alright? Amanda Palmer had this little band called the Dresden Dolls. She's like a really kind of artsy thing, and she's bloody good. She's amazing. At the end of this podcast, we're gonna play one of Krishool's songs.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get you an original, and I'll play something from Amanda Palmer. But long story short, she's awesome. But nonetheless, her sound is quite unique, original, and big label picks her up, and then she sells 25,000 records. Now, she thinks it's pretty freaking amazing, because, she was singing in bars and street corners, and now she's got 25,000. Anyway, they go like, nah, this is rubbish, Next album, we want you to do it this way. That's
terrible.
Your music doesn't appeal to the masses. 25,000 is unacceptable.
That's the compromise.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
You've
The
signed.
25,000 people that liked Amanda Palmer loved Amanda Palmer.
Not
We
this
were
manufactured
talking.
bullshit that they made
Yeah,
out to be now.
we are talking about a world of 7 billion. And she leaves the label, goes on Kickstarter and says, I need $100,000 to make me a new album because I got all these songs written. She raises 1.2 million.
What the frack? That's insane.
And I'm saying that, the world is so big. If you as an artist, if you appeal to 1% of the world, 99% of people think you're shit, but if 1% just go like, that's it, man, that's the sound, I just love that.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking, 1% of the world is 70 million, I think. Yep. 70. Well, 1% of the Western world is still, whatever, 15. It's
Yeah.
an incredible number of people. And this notion that we gotta push this music, that somehow we'll, like, dumb it down or simplify it or make it as catchy and as simple that the biggest margin, we expand that from that 1 to, like, 60. You get something so plastic like Justin Bieber. Like, I swear,
That's the
there is
nature of the industry now.
nothing
I
original.
I don't think so, because I
Authentic about it.
know the other thing too is when I was getting back to you before on The Voice. The only other way to get in too is this kid comes up, blonde hair, not bad looking guy, right?
Yeah.
Pumps out a song. His granddad's Barry Crocker, right? Australian famous singer from the 60s, right? Big deal. And they get him to come onto the show in the in the background going, yeah, it's my nephew and he's really good and all the rest. He knocks out a song, nothing special about it. I mean, it was real, compared to some of the talent that was up there, really average. But he got onto the show because he's...
Yeah. Well, guys, it's about ratings at the end of the day. Look, I can't speak so much for The Voice. I mean, I know a few people have gone on it, but I'll tell you, with the X Factor, it is, let's call it the X Factor. It's not just about singing ability, it's about performance. You have to appeal to the widest demographic. In fact, when you're actually auditioning, even before you go to the judges, they want you to be molded into a specific kind of persona. For instance, I was the singer-dancer. Even though I wanted to do more kind of, soulful John Legend kind of stuff, they're like, look, we want you to do this. Now, I spent so much time arguing with them. This isn't what I want to do. The judges are, I want to show off my vocals over here. No, you have to do this kind of song. So
I want
it's
to get
kind
my
of like,
shirt off. Did you say that a lot?
Yeah,
I want to
absolutely.
get my shirt off.
Well, no, but they have an idea as to what's going to appeal to the biggest amount of people, and therefore they want you to fit this role. So it's kind of like a casting call. Yeah. It's kind of like we have a role for a singer-dancer over here. We've got a role for a soul person, a Jamaican, Rastafarian hip-hop dude, and you have to fit these roles. Otherwise, you won't actually get the cut.
But in order for you to fit, you got to make yourself inauthentic. And I mean, I'll tell you one thing.
Why don't you dress like a hillbilly?
One thing that I come to Melbourne in 2007. And I gotta say, I was into the general pop culture. I was going out freaking buying really expensive clothes, clubbing, watching Australian Idol for about a year. Mm-hmm. And in that year of my very kind of vanilla mainstream life, I remember watching Australian Idol, and there was a guy called Marty Simpson. Now, Marty Simpson, he had a pretty kind of beachy, cruisy, nice voice, and he wrote a bunch of his songs, and he wanted to sing them. And at every stage they were saying, like, dude, you really don't want to sing your own songs? And I'm just thinking, like, what the fuck? Like, even then, as I said, even though I was at my most uncreative vanilla self that I ever have been in my entire life, I was still looking at it going like...
Eurotrash, is that what you're trying to say you were?
Yeah, well, give me a second. I was just thinking like... I'm hoping to see something original here. And it's like that antithesis. Of, that's what pop music is. It's that antithesis of originality. We've come up with these stereotypes. What are they like? We got the singer-dancer, we got the soul man, we got the pretty country girl.
And they come up to you and they say, Chris, can you sing country western? Can you wear big and brace overalls? And you go,
absolutely.
If it gets me on TV, I'll do it.
Original songs. And look, the fact that I've been actually told this several times, when I did Superfest, I really wanted to do another, like, not a reality TV show, but this competition, over 60,000 people tried out for it. Basically, when it came out to the final rounds, top 10, we had to decide what songs we wanted to do. We could only do one song, and I wanted to do an original, because even if I didn't get in, because I was going to be performing in front of some pretty big names like Shaka Khan and whatnot, wanted an opportunity to sing something that was my own. And I basically had to go over the one of the producers and actually get in touch, email like the executive producers about, because it stated in the contract that we could do any song, didn't say anything about the originality, all that kind of stuff. And basically everyone, the guys were telling me, look, you can't do an original, and he was trying to do it for my benefit. The logic is that you want people to obviously be familiar with the song that you're singing, because you're trying to rally up people and if you're doing an original, you're taking a big risk. I mean, I think they're saying this because from their own experiences, most people who do originals generally don't get the most positive feedback. As an artist, though, it's kind of like, it's the antithesis of being an artist, not expressing originality.
I think isn't that why you get into it? Like, you kind of got some beat, some sound in your head that you got to create.
It's called Idol. For instance, Australian Idol. It's called Idol because you want to represent you want to be a star. It's a popularity contest in a big way. Yes, it's about excellence, but it's also just about being freaking well known. Everyone wants to get their face out there.
Yeah, so but just imagine, I get my face out there, and I have nothing interesting to say, and I'm a dumbass, and now there's 5,000 people, either dumb people like me, or anyone with any freaking half a brain thinks, like, what's this twat I'm doing on TV? Like, I somehow wouldn't be happy about myself. Like, I don't know. So many people today that I'd rather impress one person that I respect than 10,000.
Yeah, but that's not the way they see it, Sonny.
Exactly.
But the other thing too is I don't understand is you go out there and you go, I want to do an original song, right? Now, if you're going to do someone else's song, you either got to do it identical, because it's going to be hard, because you got to get the voice right. If you're going to copy someone else's song, people want to, it's not the same. He's not the same. They're judging you on the differences, or you got to hit it in a totally different way.
Yeah.
Like you got to say, I'm going to change this around. It might sound better. And some people go, no, I like the old way.
Yeah.
But if you sing an original one, you've got nothing to compare against.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think, isn't that what you're all about, is to sing those original songs?
Look, to me, ultimately, it just has to be good. People will appreciate when something is really good. To be honest, as much as I love artistry and originality, my favorite performers were people that didn't even write their own songs, like Elvis Presley, and most of the pop stars that you think of in this day and age, they either co-write, a lot of the songs, or they don't do any of the songs originally at all, because I mean, most teeny boppers that are looking at these stars they don't think, oh, this person's written this song. They just go, oh, this person's so talented and so sexy and all this kind of stuff. And it's only, I guess, the more cerebral people that are more inspired by the fact that this is their original work. So when you hear someone performing something, you just appreciate the song. People don't think of, let's say, a John Legend classic like Ordinary People and go, oh, John Legend is so awesome for writing that song. John Legend didn't write that song. It was written by I forget his name, one of the guys from Black Eyed Peas, Will I Am. Most people look at these songs.
I'll tell you the terrible thing. I don't know who's John Legend.
Oh, well, look.
Is he young, old?
He's a well-known soul star. It was just a random name. But the whole point is that most people don't really think about the fact that it's been written by someone, and therefore, well, at least I don't. I think a lot of people just appreciate the fact that it's an amazing song, and they give credit to the person that's singing it. So, look, you don't make a lot of money in the industry that way if you're not writing your own songs, but it's a great way of getting your name out there and becoming popular. But if you want to have longevity in the industry, you got to write. You got to write your ass off. Otherwise, it's really hard, man.
But have you ever thought? I don't know. I mean, you, in a sense, you're a good-looking guy, and you have this.
Why, thank you. I do have my celebrity spotlight.
And you have this kind of. I mean, I don't know how to. We were playing music in the end, but I don't know. You've got.
I have this big swagger, and I got a big dick, and I can use that and kind of use this microphone. It's pretty cool, eh?
No. You sound.
You like that?
You sound like. I wouldn't say stereotypical because it's different, but you have the.
I got my Elvis Presley. Oh, yeah. That kind of thing going on. Yeah.
Yeah. You have this kind of deep voice and shit like that. But I don't know, like.
It's a sexy chocolate thing.
Sexy chocolate. Two words should be in the same sentence all the time.
Sexy chocolate.
But no, you know what the worst thing is? The worst thing is when we go back to that competition where you go through all that process. It's months after months, and you get on the show, or you might even not even be on the show, but you're a really good singer, and you get judged by these people that you said you looked up to.
They tell you
and then what happens? And they go, you didn't win, or you failed, and it must be so hard.
Oh, you have no idea. The worst thing about it, right? Especially when you have people like Carl Sutherland. You know him? Like he's the guy that was on Fox that used to. Look, a lot of the times you're having 16-year-old kids come up and audition on these shows, and their level of like ability to resist bullshit is nowhere near as strong as, let's say, someone that is a full-grown man like myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and they get to it's so. I've seen 16-year-olds go up, right? They have this, they're really nervous. They go up. They spent their entire life devoting themselves to this thing, and someone like Cal says, "Look, you're crap. Like, you should be in a freaking karaoke bar." And they come out in tears, and it's so demoralizing. It's like,
and they're a good singer. They're not bad.
But it's tricky. But it's just the nature of the industry. You need to be able to withstand rejection. I mean, you're going to go through that kind of stuff. And
I know, but it must be. It's just so bad that you're a really good singer. Everyone around you. I'm talking about your mother. I'm talking about other people who go, he's got this, you got that talent for this, and you know in your heart that this is something you want to do for the rest of your life, and you got some shitbag like Carl, who's never done anything in his life other than criticize everybody, is turning around and he's judging you and you're as nervous as hell, because I can imagine the nerves would be crazy, and he's judging you, and this guy's a shitbag who's never sung a song in his life.
I don't have a problem with that. The whole idea is to judge. It's just the way they do it sometimes. Sometimes they're actually doing it for ratings. Like, I'm not saying any of the X Factor judges now do it, but I know I've actually met Kyle in the toilets. This is when I did Idol like several years back. And no funny business. Not good. He's actually really no. I didn't try to get any favors so I could get in. He's like, hey, bro, you know, you really want to get in the show.
Yeah, you want to get out of the show.
I don't really like sucking, but you can suck my cock because you want some big black cock over here? It's like, okay, I always wanted to try chocolate. I'll give you a shot. No, seriously, he was a nice enough guy, right? But then you actually meet him in the audition room, and he's actually looking for the most controversial stuff to say to you purely for ratings. Like, I honestly believe that a lot of the stuff that he's saying because he's trying to make the show entertaining. I mean, it's all about ratings over here. And yes, look, they have to judge you. There's so many people auditioning for this show, they can't possibly say yes to everyone. They have to say no. I mean, that's the nature of it. Like the last time I did this, just on the weekend, I actually respected the way that Ronan dealt with me. Like, it was just like, look, your singing's good, your dancing's good, but it's not great. You got to blow us away, mate. I'm sorry, man. But the last time was an absolute prick. But it's when they'll actually be mean to you in the way that they're saying no. Like, well, look, man, you shouldn't even be here. I've seen them say the most despicable stuff to contestants, and they leave the room not ever wanting to do this show ever again. There are many singing teachers that tell their students not to try out for the show because they've actually lost them from these people trying out for the show, because they go and they audition for this show, and then they're heartbroken. They never even want to do this ever again.
Isn't there this huge, like, I don't know, man. I mean, I guess it's young kids, man. We're trying to, like, when I look at somebody 16 years old singing, man, it doesn't matter how talented they are.
Yeah.
Like, dude, when I listen to music, you know, I'm either looking for the sound, the melody, the music that's gonna blow me away, or I'm looking for a story that I'm gonna resonate with.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you know what? I don't think there's anything a 16-year-old with a dream of being a pop star can tell me that I'm going to resonate with.
But they're cute and they appeal to all the teeny buffers.
I know. I guess that's that.
You're talking about singing about lost and tragic love.
You know, at the end of the day, I really don't know. Like, people should just learn not to give a shit what other people think. I think to a large extent, you know, you are halfway at least towards learning that lesson, because you know, you see people go out and get traumatized by rejection in these shows, and you're like, well, whatever, when's that next one? You know,
You want
know,
so
I think
badly.
I think if you climbed off the stage, punched Sanderland, you managed to grab him by the neck and punch him in the face.
You'd
get ratings. Number one, number two, you'd be the talk of the town for a week. I'm surprised you wouldn't get a contract doing something.
Bro, he had to have like security guards. Basically, he's had death threats because of his dickiness in his shows. I remember a few years back, he got some death threats, and he had to take some precautions in order to prevent himself from. Whoa, there are some people that really don't like the guy, and obviously got kicked out of X Factor, I think, a few years back because of some stunt he called on the radio. But that's besides the point. But you brought up a really interesting issue, which I kind of want to touch on because I think a lot of people might benefit from this. And I heard some guys talking about this on their podcast, the Brian Callen Show. Is this a constant, dude that's on the Joe Rogan Experience, and he talks about why a lot of kids want to do something like that, and why there is this tremendous need to be great as a kid. Just as a young guy, not necessarily as a kid, like, I feel this right now. Like, I'm in this part of my life where I know it sounds a little arrogant, but you really want to matter. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. There's this unquenchable thirst in order to make a difference, to actually be something of significance, and you're driven to really push yourself. And it's hard because even though there's so much shit that you have to endure, like going through these auditions and, suffering rejection, all this kind of stuff, did you find this at a youth, and do you still find it now? Like, you really want to be significant, you want to matter, and it's one of the difficulties when you're growing up. Like, you have this tremendous urge in order to make a difference in your life, and you really want to push yourself.
I can't speak from your point of view because you're going for that whole celebrity singing thing, and that's great. But for me, I just wanted to be the best I could be at my job. I remember looking back now, when I was going through my apprenticeship and I was thirsting for information, I wanted to be the best. And you have to go for that. You can't just it's just a job, because you'll never be any good.
How
You'll
old
be
were you when you had this kind of mentality?
Probably 18, 19,
Fair
20.
enough. Did you want to, like, kind of be famous, or
no? I didn't. No, the famous thing didn't never come into me because I was never pushed for that. But in my job as my trade, I wanted to be the best, and to get to be the best, you had to. Listen to the guys that were, 40, 50 years old, older than you, that have been around a long time, so they knew their stuff inside out. You wanted to learn their tricks, because every industry has tricks. And if you know those tricks, that makes it so much different.
Why did you want to be the best, though? That's what I'm curious about. What was driving you in order to reach that level?
Because well, it's a bit hard to think back now.
Come down to women, because I know you kind of lost interest after maybe.
No, it's nothing to do with women.
Of course, it's everything to do with women, man. I'm freaking out.
No.
Not everything, but just a huge part of it.
When you leave school, you've gone to school your whole life, right? Well, you've gone to school. I went up to school, and I finished my school, and I started my apprenticeship, and then I started working, and it's a whole different thing when you're working from school. I mean, this is hands-on, practical. And you really want to be good at what you do. You don't want to be shit. You don't want people to go, oh, that guy, he's a shit tradie. He's a shitty thing. So if you know all the tricks, you know the skills, and you can apply that, right? Straight away, be the best you can be. That's what you're striving for. That's what I was striving for.
That's without a doubt.
It's not to be.
Maybe you're just more mature than a lot of people.
I'll tell you, like,
there's no celebrity plumbers. I'll tell you right now.
It's not necessarily a celebrity thing. That's what I want to make very clear. It's this, just so I articulate myself perfectly and I don't get misquoted. Like, oh, you're so freaking narcissistic, Christian man. You shouldn't freaking want to be a star. It's just a need to prove yourself. Do I actually be significant, to make a difference? There's this tremendous drive. You don't want to be a freaking stuff up, and you want to.
Let me.
1 minute. Can I just ask one question? Just one little question.
You don't have that now?
It's different. Like, I totally do, but I would describe it in a different way, which is kind of why I'm anxious to like have a go at it. But Chris, you had a question.
No, just go back on when you started. You said you were doing software IT.
Yeah.
How old were you then?
18, 19.
Did you still want to be, when you started that off, you wanted to be the best?
No, beyond everything else, I wanted to be a freaking star, man. That was the number one thing.
No, but, I mean, when you were doing that...
No, it wasn't a case of...
Why'd you pick that job?
Because it was, look, part of me still wanted, I love the idea of creating. I mean, part of it is just being able to express yourself as an artist, to express yourself through creative work, and that's what I thought programming was like. Making computer games, I love the idea of creating worlds, that kind of thing. Yeah. But the biggest...
Were you good at it, though?
I was good at it.
But to be good at it, you must have something there. You want to.
It was passion. We all have many interests, but the biggest, the strongest interest I had was actually singing, performing, that kind of thing. The idea of being out there doing something that I love doing, being able to influence people in a positive way, and gaining recognition from what you're doing.
Oh, fair enough.
I mean, let's be honest over here. Living a life. I mean, there is no artistic work in the history of mankind that the artist doesn't want to get some kind of credit for it. Like, artists don't create portraits without signing their name. They want to receive some kind of acknowledgement for it because we want to be recognized. And I think, particularly when you're growing up, I don't know if this changes. I know that I've experienced this. I still experience this now, but apparently as you get older, it's not the same thing. You become wise and you realize it's not all about you. But I've heard so many people talk about how there's this, particularly in the performing world, there's this tremendous void within yourself, and you want to matter, you want to be significant, and call that narcissistic, call it what you will, but I would be dishonest if I told you that it's not there. And part of the drive, yes, you want to have a beneficent effect on the world, but you don't want to be a nobody. You want to actually do something great.
I will.
I just want to be a dictator.
You just want to be a dictator.
I'll kind of elaborate. Like in the first much of my life, I could totally. Well, I don't know, man. My dad. Like, this will explain much of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
My dad was
a dictator.
Yeah. He was a soccer professional at 18. He had his dad was a colonel in the military. He actually got paid more than his dad. And this is back in the freaking whatever the fuck 60s.
What was his name?
My dad?
Yeah.
Emil Dedic.
Emil Dedic. I thought that had a dictatorial kind of name.
Oh yeah, that's
right.
He would do as I say.
Here's the.
He
then his parents kind of forced him to quit that so he can go to university. He goes to university and he studies engineering. Well, he spent 8 years studying a 4-year degree. In the meantime, he becomes a professional table tennis player. He hadn't played before that. And then, of course, he gets married and goes to work. And even though the table tennis, he got into top 10 in the country, like, that doesn't bring him. And so he's got this thing. I'm going to create.
Top 10 in the country.
I love a guy who goes through life, right, and he just excels. Whatever he does, I'll just do this, and then he's like top 10, and I'll go and
I don't. That pisses me off, man. It's so freaking easy for him. It's like it's like John Jones dominating the USC flag. It pisses me off. No, well, it's easy in the sense that people need to go through failure. If people get to the top too fast, it's like.
Piss off! You would turn around tomorrow and go, oh, you win American Idol, you're up there, you're making me. Oh no, I did it easy!
All I'm saying, man, is that it just seems like too easy. If someone does something and wins all the time, they don't have any hardship.
Do you know what I hate about someone who goes through that, where no matter what he hits, he just seems to get up like top? It's when he pisses it away, hits alcohol or he just throws it all in the bin. That shits me because
it does as well. But let me elaborate. Like, let me continue here. I'm talking about my dad. Like,
sorry to inject.
See, my dad wasn't one of those guys. Mind you, he is exceedingly talented. But it's all up in here for him. Like, he's a pit bull terrier. He is the most determined person I've ever met. And for him, this type of like giving up is worse than killing your own mother. Like, starting a job and not finishing it, or like it to him, that's like the worst thing he could ever do. And like my mom talks about like, oh, what made you do it? I thought my dad would do this. Oh, he did something lovely.
Well, when your mom say like, what made you pursue me?
Yeah, what made him? She's like, oh, like I thought if he fought so hard to win a game of table tennis, I imagine like what would he do for a woman he loves? And
that's really cool. Yeah. And I give up too easily with women, man. Like, I'll make one play it, and then they'll be like, I don't like you. I'm like, I don't care. No, I was just playing hard to get. Come back. No, fuck that. Me, man.
But long story short, here's this man that got to the close to the pinnacle of two sports, and didn't carry through for like legitimate obligations like university, like marriage and kids, and he's going, I'm going to raise a champion. And version 1, my sister was in the team to go to the Lillehammer Olympics at the age of 17 for skiing. She was the national champion 5 times over. When she started, she was clumsy as fuck. They were like, why are you doing to this poor girl? What you could see that she's not an athlete. Like, what are you doing? Nah. It was that it's up in here. And, to some extent, my sister she wound up quitting skiing and not going to the Olympics because she wasn't getting adequate training and she didn't think she could compete fairly, and, she just basically finished in the bottom 10%. That's not what she wanted to do. She went into education, so she did like a freaking, wound up doing PhD in biochemistry, and now she's a medical doctor. So kind of a high achiever, but she's a bit too single-minded, and if things don't exist other her achieving goals. So I was raised that way, and even with school and exams, even as I was kicking ass at tennis, I didn't have I was living for tennis. I didn't have much time for school. But every once in a while, like literally like 3 times a year, I would
Was your
declare
dad
to
pushing you there?
Yeah, big time. Like, to be honest, my dad, I played tennis for a year and a half without my dad caring. And after about a year and a half, he's like, okay, I see that this is what you really want.
He started really
Now, okay, I'm getting you training.
I'm gonna mentally.
Was he taking care of training you, or was he getting someone?
He was getting other people, but he was always there. He was always watching. We had arguments, like he had
strategies and stuff.
He's saying I should jog more. I was jogging at like 6 a.m. in the morning. I was playing. It was pretty serious. But even
endurance sport, isn't it? It's
how much mental endurance.
How much of it is mental? How much of it is physical? And how much
tennis
of it
is 90% mental.
Yeah,
90% mental. Because I mean, really, even the physical part. Anybody can be physically prepared to play tennis if they're willing to put in the hours.
Or you can say that about anything. The mind controls the body.
No, what I'm saying, you can't be a sprinter on pure will, but you can be a tennis player.
You can't.
Bro.
No, you can't.
Okay, bro. Okay. I'm not saying you can. Maybe if you were 40 years old, starting that.
If you were an Oompa Loompa,
okay,
Wizard of Oz, you're not going to be a sprinter.
All right, I would have agreed with you maybe 10 years ago. I had the same argument with this psychologist, and he was talking about how much your psychology plays in your physical prowess and all that kind of stuff. And look, are you telling me that if you don't work hard at something, like for instance, if you're born with a bad genetics, if every single day if you're working your ass off training, that's not going to allow you to maintain.
Here's what I'm telling
this
you.
Amazing prowess.
Here's what I'm telling you. Okay.
What are you telling me?
95% of sports.
Yes.
If you have the mindset, you could get to the very top. 95%.
Absolutely.
Okay?
That's what I'm talking about.
Happens to be one of the 5%. That's all I'm saying. I've seen the final final 8 in the World Championship. They're like, either the question is it 7 black guys or is it 8 black guys?
Well,
I mean, and for you to say
it's been done. I remember
there was one Greek guy in Sydney in
I can't remember what year it was. Maybe it was either 82 or I think it was 1982 actually, or 81. I remember seeing this Scottish sprinter winning the either the World Championship or the Olympics 100 meters, and I'm like, what the frick? There you go, mentality. There you go.
You got to be physically. You got to be physically built.
You're not going to disagree with me. It's predominantly.
Of course, it's predominantly. But never say never.
Now, tennis is predominantly
Justin
mental.
Bieber, yo.
Tennis is predominantly mental. Now, let me continue along this tangent. Along my freaking arc that I was going to compare my life story. So, no, it was always about I want it more than everyone else. I'm going to be the best. And I'm going to, even if I don't have time to be the best at this school thing, I was like, a couple of times a year, I'd be, this test, I'm going to be the best. I would, like the king of the class, declare in front of the whole class that I'm going to get the best grade. And like half the time, I actually got it. So even though I was like 5th or 6th in class, I had to do my grandstanding thing, like I'm the smartest person.
I don't do that.
I'm the smartest person. So yeah, this notion that I matter and I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's psychological.
I get it. But let me elaborate. Let me continue here. This sort of mega competitive tennis thing ended for me at about age 18, 19, and then that was uni.
Why did it end for you?
Well, long story short, it takes about $100,000 to essentially play enough tournaments so you can have a crack at making professional.
Can't you get sponsorship? Sure, there was
essentially
mentality, yo. It's all about the mentality. I'm sorry, man.
It is.
Sure, if you did a lot of the fundraising, I'm sure you could have done it, bro.
Look, long story short.
Okay.
I broke my ankle in, I think it was 2000, end of 2002, the start of 2003. I was at uni. I was training with a bunch of kids, and to be honest, I was 18 and I was the same level as the best Aussie kids who were 16. But these best Aussie kids who were 16 didn't make it.
Oh, this is in Australia. For some reason I thought this was in like
no,
Lozovish or something like that.
No. I was I played in, I lost a bunch of years in Libya because that's where I graduated out of high school, and there was literally one person in the country that could. Yeah, there was only one person in the country that could beat me, so I wasn't getting.
And that was Gaddafi.
Yeah.
And you don't beat Gaddafi.
And this kid was out of the country half the year, and the other half didn't want to play me because he was afraid to lose, because it was a matter of prestige to him. And so if you don't get to play against people,
you know, pictures of you, back in these days,
I could dig up a couple. I could dig up a couple.
Look sexy with those tight tennis shorts of yours.
But now we're very baggy shorts all my life. But
okay.
Too bad for your viewing. But look, long story short, it got to the point where it was exceedingly unrealistic and financially impossible. So years go on, and I finish uni. I basically party and drink a lot, and I pass somehow, and then I become like a 9-to-5 drone for a couple of years, and I spend more time thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And sometime around 2009, 10, I start contemplating life a bit more. It's a bit like your podcast, you know. I start thinking, well, why do I do this? Why did I do this uni? Why am I here? Why am I at this fucking job? Who's making the money here? What's the scam? And bottom line is I start thinking for myself. And at that point...
Can I just ask you, did you have any regrets about the tennis career? Wish you
to
would
be
have spent
honest,
a bit more time focusing on that?
I didn't have too many regrets. I mean,
that's a good thing, because that's the worst thing.
I had regrets. I had regrets for the first couple of years after, and now I think I'm kind of blessed because honestly, even if I had made it, unless you're in the top 20, you're not gonna retire with a couple million. You're gonna retire with fuck all money. I mean, I know many guys.
Was it about the money to you? What was it about?
No, it wasn't about the money. It was about love of competition.
I know the guys, or whatever.
Yeah, it's about. I mean, when you're compulsively competitive, it's not really about any grand. It's fame. You imagine yourself. You like being recognized. You enjoy that, but it's not even that. It's that you're hyper competitive. You like that. You like that dogfight. You like it when it's close even more. I would go nuts at people when I used to play against them when they gave up.
Oh,
really?
Like,
when they gave up?
Yeah, that's depressing when they
Why?
Yeah, because...
You're serious? I'd be like, I love it when I'm playing Call of Duty and someone's like, I'm not playing you anymore. I'm like, ah!
No, I'm the opposite.
Because I would be like, what the fuck, man? Like, dude.
It's like you've broken their spirit, bro.
It's 3-1.
No, it's the opposite. I find that the opposite too.
How the hell is it? It's a competition. You're trying to win. No matter how you win.
Yeah, but no one wants to play a game that's easy.
The stronger your opponent, the more you enjoy it.
That's a healthy attitude. I'm telling you, man. If your objective is to actually win, you should try to win, regardless of how.
No.
I'll be.
You know what they say? It's not the win. It's how the game's played.
Chris, I'll be honest. I'll elaborate to it.
All right.
In tournament matches,
yeah,
when somebody gives up against you, yeah, it feels good. I never fucking.
Well, that's what I meant.
But in practice matches,
yeah,
when I just play people, all right, let's meet up on Saturday and we'll have a match. And I start leading, and they just start playing like shit. I would go off at them.
That's because one, you're trying to improve yourself. The other, you're trying to win. When you're trying to win, you don't care so much about whether or not you had a great match, so to speak. Unless, of course, you're the real kind of like your Goku. I don't know if you watch some anime cartoons. Goku's this kind of person that always wants the challenge. So whenever he's going up against someone that's more powerful than him, he's like, yes, this guy's so much more powerful than me. I love a challenge. And all his friends are saying, no, he'll destroy you and destroy the entire world. You can't fight him, Goku. And Goku's like, yes, but he's so much more powerful. I need to fight him so I can improve. Yeah. And you kind of have that mentality when you're training.
But isn't that the same? Isn't that the same where you're going to? Because you just said when you're in Libya, there was no one that you could play against, right? Yeah. So if you're playing against people that you know that you're much better than, it gets depressing.
It does.
You want someone to what do they say when you go to a teacher? A teacher can only teach you as good as what he is, right?
Yeah.
For you to go past him, you've either got to teach yourself or you've got to move on to another teacher.
But let me kind of elaborate now as my views kind of diverge from yours, because I'm thinking back then I thought, I could have had all of this, but now I'm thinking, okay, look, if I just imagine I'm still there trying to win the next tennis match. The world is an amazing, beautiful, complex place with 1,000 life paths you could take, and one where I'm out there just playing tennis matches for 15 years, 16 years of my life, with that being the only focus. I would have felt like that would have been a waste of time.
That's a good point there.
Now, when it starts to change, I was sort of starting to think for myself, and then you start to define success for yourself. Whereas before, success used to be, win a big tennis tournament, get into, say, that list that they keep of top 100. And all of a sudden, then success became, get that next promotion and have a better. And all of it, when you realize that's bullshit. I must be
the only guy in the friggin' world that never goes for friggin' celebrity status.
It's because you have a healthy mind, my friend. You're not narcissistic like other performers out there. They have this void in themselves, my friend. That's the healthiest attitude to have.
You people love interrupting!
Sorry, man.
You people love interrupting!
We're being terrible, sorry.
And I'm trying to say, how I evolved from purely wanting to attain goals that society sets, being very egoistical and wanting to attain goals.
When was this, Sonny? When was this?
Up until maybe 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And till today, still being very egoistical, but defining success for myself. And see, when I say what is my definition of success? Do something that has a tangible difference in the world. Now, it doesn't matter whether 1 million people know my name or not. It really makes, I swear to God, that makes very little difference to me.
Well,
But
it does make a difference, man. You get more pussy for starters.
Yeah.
Let's be real out here.
How old are you again? I forgot how old you are.
Come on, man.
Are you 16? Like, are you stuck in a 16-year-old body?
You gotta keep it real, man. Gotta keep it real.
No. The pussy comment is probably right. Like,
I never had to be celebrity.
That's a pretty good one. But let me
Freud
continue.
said that man has two drives. One is to be great, and the other is to find a mate. And I find that you could basically bring it all to that desire. I mean, the whole desire of being great is so that you can get more mates. You know what I mean? So it's like, all I'm saying is, definitely at a young age, a huge percentage of you wanting to succeed is so that you can hook up. I mean, I think if guys truly look deep down as to the underlying motivation for a lot of the stuff that they do, it is because they want more chicks. And I know that sounds incredibly shallow, but it is true.
Can I say, like, I actually fight this. I look at it and I go, you know, if I went salsa dancing, I'd get laid more. But then I go, like, what the fuck? I don't give a shit about salsa dancing.
Yeah.
Do I do it just to get laid more? You know? And then I'm thinking to myself, like, if I do the things I want, they're not gonna get me laid
You gotta do what you gotta do.
But at the end of the day, like, I think to myself, wait a second, if I do what I do, it'll take longer, but at the point where I freaking excel at it, you know, if I'm the guy that invented something cool, now the chicks don't have to have heard of that ever. If I'm the guy that has no need for a freaking job, lives in a comfortable house, and nothing kind of luxurious, is, you know, in terms of general understanding what goes on, has this kind of cool, calm, you know, self-assured manner and all the free time in the world and doesn't give a shit, isn't impressed by anybody, like, that in itself has got an element of sexiness that I think women respond to. I found in my life that the situations where I'm socially really, really comfortable in, whatever girls come along, they come my way. But, you know, unfortunately, the association I'm really, really comfortable with, and I'm not all that filled with chicks. So,
well, you've both had a go, and I've just thought of something that's happened to me. And when you talk about girls and getting girls and everything, when I was young, I was 22 years old, right? 18, go to pubs, start going to nightclubs, right? And I watched all my mates and my brother's mates who I'd hung out with, all drinking, having a great time, all the women on the dance floor, no blokes dancing. And I went, why isn't anyone dancing? Because I didn't know how to dance. And I went, you know what? Fuck, that's not hard. I could do that. And I saw one guy get up there, right? And he was doing the whole disco thing. And he had this white suit on. And he was smoking it. I mean, this guy had it down pat. And the fucking women were flocking on him, right? And I went, all right, so I need to get a hot chick. Just learn how to dance. So I learned. And I learned, and I learned. I practiced a lot when I was younger.
You got some moves? We'll have to have a dance.
No, I had really good moves, and my songs I like are probably not the songs, but as long as it's got a good beat, if it's got a really good beat, I can dance to it. So we go out, and we party, and I actually got one venue down in Melbourne one night. I was hanging around with a group of guys who went RMIT dance school, and they rang me up and said, "Chris, you coming out tonight?" I went, "Oh, no." He goes, "How about if we come out and you get paid to dance?" And I go, "What do I have to do?" "You just got to dance on stage." I said, "Fucking do that easy." So I went down there, got paid for it. Couldn't believe I got paid to dance. Anyway, had a really good night, blah, blah, blah. But I've always loved dancing. But initially it was to get the chicks, right?
Yeah.
And after I could dance, like, we'd hit the floor. My brother, we'd be standing there having a drink. My brother would go, "Come on, dance quick. There's a hot chick up there." Because I knew straight away, you get up there, you do your moves.
Straight, man.
Bang, you get a girl. So I can relate to that to an extent. Yeah. But after a while, I think the whole thing about picking up a girl is a confidence thing. Right? Yeah. You walk into a place, say you've had a really bad day, right? And you feel shit. You don't even have to... I think it's just like an aura around you. Everyone knows. And when you're desperate, and you've been a while, and you're hanging out, like, it's been a while, true. You walk into a joint, right? You people can see it. You don't even have to say one word. People go, "He's desperate," right? But you walk in there.
Women see it.
Now, my wife doesn't watch this podcast, so I don't have to worry. But here's the other one. Let's just say you just had sex with a bird before you went out, right? You had sex with a bird, right? You're relaxed. You're confident. You just seem to be on the top of your game, right? You walk into a joint, you're not even looking, right? Because you've just got laid. You walk into a joint and you can't figure out why women are looking at you because you're nothing much to look at. You're not gorgeous, but you walk in there, and I'm not bullshitting you. That's happened a few times in my life where there's just not a care in the world. Yeah. And I think a lot of guys who are married, who go out, they dress up, they go out and have a good night, they get a lot of chicks hitting on them. Why? Because they're not desperate. They don't even show it. I don't care. If I pick up, great. Some guys do. If I don't, I don't give a fuck. And the women see it.
That's right.
I think
every guy can relate to this being a truism.
I've told him the story, but like once I had an ex, she shagged me like twice before me going out.
so he wouldn't pick up.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
terrible.
I get to this bar, and I'm honestly not wanting to go out.
Yeah.
Because you can imagine I'm already freaking drained, And I'm there with these people, and I go to this freaking, what's the name of the club? Baroque House in the city. And I'm standing at the bar, literally I just arrived, and I'm just getting a drink, and just, whatever, man, just doing it. The girl comes, and she was hot. She was drunk. She literally grabs me by the dick. Literally. The only time that's happened to me in Australia, that's happened overseas, but I've never had that happen to me in this country.
Okay.
Now, I don't want to elaborate. Too many details.
This is when you didn't want it. This is
after... I totally was like, nah, man.
Oh, God.
No chicks today.
Come on.
I've had enough.
But you must have been in a situation where when you're on the top of your game.
Yeah.
You know when you're brimming, like you're really happy, like you might have had a really good day, you had a really good sing, whatever you did, right?
Absolutely.
And you're absolutely gunning, and you're walking down the street, and there's not a care. You just got this. There's no smile on your face. There's no smile on your face, but you're smiling on the inside, right?
People can sense that.
People, even guys, can go, fuck, what's he on? He's doing all right.
I don't want to go on metaphysical on you, but I think people can. You're giving off some, whether or not it's a pheromone, whether or not it's just your simple like vibrance or vitality. People definitely do sense that.
Well,
I mean,
body language
absolutely. That has a lot to do with it. You can explain it on a very logical level, and I've had this happen to me at a gay club, right? Don't get the wrong idea. One of my friends, she forced me to this club. She's a birthday party. I really want to go with her, and I eventually agreed to go to this. I think it's a pier on the Smith Street or something like that. And I'm like, I was minding my own business. Certainly didn't want to, do anything with anyone. And everything was cool, right? I seriously did not want to have any attention about any guy, obviously. But then I started dancing.
They wanted sexy.
Everything was freaking cool until I started dancing. I get up on the dance floor.
You didn't want any attention from anybody.
No, bro.
But then you started dancing in a gay club. Dude!
Bro, it's a black thing.
This is ridiculous.
No, you misunderstand. It's music, bro. I hear music and I gotta stop. I gotta stop talking to that music.
Here we go.
It's kind of like, I know white people when
some big bold white guys going, I like the way he pops.
Yeah, bro. Look, it was involuntary. I just see this music. My favorite star. Whoa, yeah. And then I can't. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like, a few seconds later, a whole row of guys just start popping on the dance floor and then doing this whole thing, which I would do at other clubs with girls, right? Like, not trying to. No, not to begin with. Not trying to like get too close to them. Kind of slowly like edging up to them, kind of stuff like getting closer to you. And I'm like, what the frack is going on? And Olivia, this girl that happened to be there at the time, she's with me and. I'm like, it must be Luke. Oh shit, I'm in a gay joint! And they're all coming up to me! And I'm like, what the and there's this one guy that wouldn't back up, he's like, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, hey man, I'm
Can I tell you something?
This is the weird, I just have to finish the story right. I actually completely appreciated how girls get really annoyed when you're hitting on them after this, because I told this guy straight up that I was not, look, I'm not gay, and I'm like, yeah, neither am I.
Neither am I, but let's get our clothes off.
Come on, everyone's like, seriously, if a guy, like, this, later on in the conversation after I started talking to this guy, I made it clear I wasn't gay, he started saying these really weird things like, yeah, but man, come on, like, if a guy was gonna suck your cock, you wouldn't have a problem with that, would you? I'm like, yeah, I would not like that, man. And he was like, come on, really? And I'm like, yeah, really? It's like, come on, man. And like, he's flirting with him like, what the frick? Hey, bro, no, I'm out of here. He's like, come on, just stay a little. And the guy takes my hand, right, and he starts kissing me. I'm like, look at that! And I'm like, Olivia, I've had it. I'm out of here. Come on, Chris. No, Olivia, I'm out of here. The guy's like, come on, can I just stay? No! And I completely understood from that point how annoying it can be when someone...
Wait. Yeah, I know where you think that's special. My wife's a hairdresser, right?
Alright.
So, every time we go to a hairdressing thing, we're going to Sydney next week, in a couple of weeks, up to Sydney.
Okay.
And we go to these hairdressing conferences, right, where they talk about cutting, and 90% of the guys there are bent as a stick, right? And they have this big after party. and then they go to a nightclub. And we go because there's tons of women, tons of blokes. But you go there, and I'll tell you what, if you don't get hit on 3 times, can I buy you a drink? Yeah, you can buy me and my missus a drink and my friend. All right then.
Oh,
Man,
God.
if you don't get hit on in a gay nightclub, if I just wish that women were so easy to pick up as like gay men, pick up other gay men.
Dude, I'll tell you,
It'd be so easy.
I'll tell you my funny. You met Mohammed. Like, basically, there was some fucking thing. Some chick takes you to a gay nightclub. And like you, I knew how to sit in the freaking corner with the wall against my back. Fuck.
Not dancing and bopping, were you?
Not dancing, not bopping, none of that shit.
I was just buying a drink. I had my hands in my pockets.
However, my mate Mohammed went to the toilet and somebody groped him in the ass.
Groped him? Wait, what?
Groped him, like grabbed his butt.
Oh,
and
gotcha.
he initially turned to punch the guy, and then he decided he'd be gentle, so he just like knocked the feet from under him, like with some ninja kick. And
Okay.
then he was like apologized and went back to the bar. And next thing you know, there's this fat lesbian chick trying to beat up my friend.
Oh, God.
And I'm trying to, and like, I don't even know, man. We got out of that somehow. There was called Cube, and this fat chick was too fat to get up because there are these boxes in the wall. So think of a wall, and there's cubes in the wall about 1.5 meters up.
Okay.
So you kind of gotta jump up and climb into the cube, and the cube is nicely cushioned.
Okay.
So there's like it is fucking like, it's as a concept for a nightclub, it's fucking awesome because people from underneath can't see what's happening in the back of the box. So they get onto their willy-nillys in the boxes. You get the picture?
Willy-nilly.
So
Explain
dance
that.
floor,
Is that a Serbian term? What's going on?
Dance floor, about 1.5 meters above dance floor boxes.
Oh, very good.
And they're cushioned.
Okay,
Anyway, we run off, we push him into one of the cubes, and the fat chick can't climb into the box, and, he's safe. And later that night, man, I'm at the bar, and I hook up with a chick.
At a gay club?
At a gay club.
How the hell does that work?
I don't know.
Maybe I need to reconsider going to
I
gay
think,
club.
dude.
Yeah, bro, you
No,
sure?
no, no, no,
You
no, no.
sure?
She had her own junk.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out here. I think the chick saw what happened, like with me and my friend, and found it funny and pretty entertaining, and started talking to me and like, oh man, lots of drama for you tonight. I'm like, oh man, I hope that's about it. But nonetheless, I remember I was pretty drunk, but I remember a scene upstairs. She went out for a ciggy, and I'm sitting on the fucking bleachers with her, man. We're making out, and I'm just going, fuck, man, who would have thought? Gay club, I scored a chick. And then there's this other, I don't know, lesbian chick or something, just grabs her out of my arms and drags her away. And it was like the most bizarre of all experiences. It was actually the lesbian chicks that ruined my night. And the gays,
Those lesbians.
And the gays didn't touch me, man. That was my experience.
I find that it's not hard to meet, even if you don't want to meet blokes. Pick up blokes at a freaking
blokes
gay
have the
place.
same mentality as blokes, and let's face it.
That's right.
Want to hook up. That's why
It's so easy.
I found this
Wish the
app
world was that easy.
a while ago. One of my friends was like, "Hey man, you should check out this app called Blender, right? It's like, girls and all that kind of stuff." Oh yeah, cool, we'll check it out. Turns out there's another app, right, with a very, very similar name. It's for gay guys. And I downloaded this thing, right? It's for turns out
Blender.
Well, it's called Blender. It's some app on the iPhone, and you download. But there's another app called Blender with a slightly different spelling. It's Blendr without an E. And basically, you put videos of yourself on this app, right? And I realized that there are no girls on this thing. They're just guys.
And you put your video up?
No, this is. I didn't realize. I created my profile, and I'm like, what a video? But I actually started viewing through the profiles once I'd set my own profile. There are all these guys, like looking all kind of sexy and stuff like that with videos of themselves, and apparently it's ridiculously. I went to the website. Apparently, it's pretty damn popular, and it's ridiculously easy for guys to find any guy in the area and bang. And I'm thinking to myself,
I think you just want to be gay following your music.
That's not cool. They're meant to be persecuted.
Religious cult and goes, I didn't read the bit about religious cult. I just sort of put my profile up.
No, I was just amazed how many profiles there were and stuff like that. But it's always been a case, man. Like with a guy trying to hook up with another guy, I know that in the gay community, it's ridiculously easy.
It's,
I mean,
it's
Oh, look,
uncool.
in pop
come
culture,
on.
Aren't they meant to be
Yeah.
Aren't they meant to be persecuted?
What?
And you know.
I was in a St Kilda nightclub. This guy
I'd
walks up.
like-
He looks
I'd
like
like
Eddie
a-
Munster, and he says to me, "He's got boy on his jacket, got lace
Yeah.
on his top. It's got big belt buckle that says boy." And he goes, "How you going?" I go, "Good." He goes, "Oh yeah." He's looking me up and down. I go, "I can tell you're a boy." He's got this full-on white makeup. Looks like the Cure. I'm going, "Oh yeah, great."
There's something incredibly weird about a guy picking you up because it makes you empathize with what it's like for when you're hitting on girls that don't actually appreciate you hitting on them, and it makes you go, "Oh, I see why you don't like it." I've never been able to fully
But see,
understand.
that's what I never understand with women, right? When you do go to pick them up, you find them attractive, and you're walking up to, and you got to say something, right? And you want to get the conversation going, or you want to chat. Now, okay, 2 minutes in, she says, "I'm not really interested. I'm just here with my friends." Fine, walk away, fine. But some women are just total bitches.
That's
But
true.
when you go overseas, like when I was in the US, where the ratio's a bit different, you go meet up a girl. It's not this instant rejection bullshit. They weigh you up, they give you a chance, blah blah blah. Here they just fucking bang you straight away.
Yeah, well, it's how you do it. I mean, if you're like, leave me alone. Or, were you talking to me? That's obviously not cool. But I just realized that even if a guy hit on me and was nice about it, I still probably
And
wouldn't
don't
be cool
go
with that. I'd be
kissing
like,
his knuckles.
no, I'd be like, I don't want to sound like a homophobe, but I'm just not comfortable with it. You know what I mean?
Well, my mate reckons I should just say, a few drinks I might change my mind and let the guy buy you like $40 worth of grog, and then you go, "No, I think it's time to go home now." Out to the taxi and get down.
Oh God.
Sorry, it didn't change my mind.
No, I didn't change my
How did we
mind.
get so off topic? I thought this was going to be an intellectual conversation speaking about technology, myths, and reality, but we're talking about freaking gays and having sex and toilets.
No, it's
and
the
shit.
lounge. We can talk about whatever we want.
Damn straight. This is the informal kind of setting I'm
But
very
it was
accustomed
like,
to.
it was a very, to be honest, I don't know if you talked about much of this pop stuff, on your own podcast, because I've probably only seen like 7
not
or 8
lately. I
episodes.
haven't because I've tried to keep them along the intellectual kind of side, but yeah, maybe.
I think it's really interesting because
Yeah.
we understand that TV's like that. Some people, no matter how hard you try, if you just don't have that look or you don't have that personality, like that idiot we were talking Carl Sanderland before. I mean, this guy's got nothing going for him physically, but he's got that whole real bastard attitude towards everything, which is only going to get him into trouble. But that's what gets him in there. And like you said, he's out the back thinking, "I've got to say something controversial.
That's
we're going to get ratings. It's what it's all about." Now, the guy could be totally different in reality. Not that I believe it, because, if he's going to... There's a certain limit to everyone, especially as you get older. When you're younger, you'll say anything. But when you get to a certain limit, when you get older, and you go, "This is the boundary. I'm not going past that because I'm not going to put myself down there. I don't want people to think that I'm that much of a prick. Full stop." You set boundaries. You say, "I don't care. I'm not going to go there."
Yeah.
I mean, I used to say anything to get a laugh. now there's a limitation.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's the nature of the entertainment.
I
industry.
understand that
People have a
industry. That's
persona.
different.
They're,
That's different.
I mean, what you see, a lot of people watch these, I guess, comedians and watch these TV shows and think that they're actually.
They're not
it's
funny
different.
people.
Well, it's different because with TV, I guess you know that they're acting, but with these reality TV shows, you're kind of just assuming it's them. But a lot of people do have a persona like that they put out when they're in public, and ones that. I mean, I behave very differently when I'm on stage to when I'm, around my friends and whatnot. And because I've realized that as much as I want to be as real as I can, there are things that you're going to say, things about yourself that you're going to open up to people about, and it's going to detrimentally affect how people view you. And unfortunately, you have to do what you have to do before you can do what you want to do. I always say that phrase because the reality of the situation is if you want to be appreciated by a big enough spectrum of the community, you need to fit a particular mindset. You need to carry yourself in a particular way. You need to do a specific type of music that's obviously
I mean, I will honestly downright disagree with you, but not that what you're saying is wrong per se. It's just that it is slowly becoming wrong. Because 15 years ago, you would have been 100 million% right. Somebody that didn't appeal to a broad spectrum of people, just wasn't gonna get anywhere, wasn't gonna make a living out of it.
I know what you're saying.
But you're at an age, where somebody who sells 25,000 records can raise 1.2 million.
No, I really have to make this point because you do make a very salient point. But here's the thing: there are so many. It's very hard for you to get your stuff viewed on YouTube, even though it can be viewed to potentially millions of people, right? it still is very hard because there's so much bullshit out there. It's still very hard to have it noticed by enough people that it can go viral. All right. The reason that people do these shows like X Factor and Idol, right, is that it gives them an opportunity to put themselves up there to a bigger population. And the reality of the situation is, unless of course they compromise aspects of their image and who they are, they're not going to get on those shows. That's why you kind of have to do what you have to do initially, so that you can at least get on that show, so that you can appeal to a wider audience in order to get yourself out there, and you can actually start doing what you love doing. If you went on with this attitude, I'm just going to do what I want, I'm not going to listen to you, you're not going to get on. You're not going to get the opportunity to actually shine.
I don't know. Like what you're saying is,
yeah,
you know, if you want to be real and make it, you got to be fake first. And I don't know. Like,
fake it till you make it. It's a notion within the industry, my friend.
It's
one of the most well-known phrases in the industry.
Here's the flip side. Let's say you come out with a type of song, right? Let's say it's no one's ever heard country and western, right? And you come out and do it, right? It's a different genre, and you get a following. People go, oh, gee, this is interesting, something different. Is that a good way to get that notification from those big labels? They're all thinking about money and people, and you've come out like when the grunge thing come out, right?
Yeah.
If you're on the fringe of that and you've got a not a bad following, and then the music company comes and goes, I think this could go somewhere. This guy looks like he's right on the money. He's out there. He's got a few people there, and the music's really good.
Yeah.
And they just go bang, and you're the next big thing, and you've made it through that. I suppose I'm not big on music.
Riding a wave.
You just mentioned it before.
That's a really good point.
What's his name?
That's definitely another avenue.
Yeah, I mean, as in you're on the fringe of that particular type of music.
Yeah, sometimes originality is the best way to go. I'm not saying that there's any definitive way to
But you're
success.
more worried about. See, here's the thing.
But it's.
Here's the thing.
I'm not worried about it. I'm just
like,
trying to find the best avenue in order to.
I'm not saying worried. You know, you are. Here's what I would like assess as something I look at and go like, that's where like he's got it wrong. And then just hear me out.
Okay.
It's this object-oriented worldview. Like, it's about how do I make it, you know. And I find that if you just, rather than thinking about how do I make it, what do I do to make it, all right, I love music. Let's just get into this. Let's pick up another instrument. Let's try something different. Like let's just get lost in your music and keep putting it out there. Like if you get so good at something, if you just don't worry about what industry trends, if you get so good at something that you're so in the moment, you live it. And I've seen you saying you're bloody good at it, but if you get so into something and it's about the music, it might take years. I mean, mind you, Amanda Palmer was a street performer for 6 freaking years. It may never come, but I don't know. But if you're brilliant, if you're truly brilliant, it's really hard in this mega, super connected era that we live in to not be noticed. I mean, you'd actually be really unlucky, and you would have to like suck at all of these social media self-promotion means if you were brilliant and were noticed. You get what I mean? And I would worry, rather than thinking, how do I make it, is, like, I want to be brilliant. I want to, in this music, I want to shine, I want to create something. I just want to make...
Yeah, but you see those artists all the time.
More amazing songs.
I respect that point. That's actually, one of the wisest perspectives I've heard you disseminate out in the industry. And as you started, I was like, oh, here we go again, because I heard a slightly different spin on that. But I do appreciate what you're saying, that if you love what you're doing, eventually you will become so good at it that it's almost impossible that at some way, because of so many of the opportunities available to you, by inadvertently you will be able to get to that point without having to go out and advertise yourself.
That doesn't happen because
you disagree with what he's saying.
No, it does, because you've got some really great artists out there that just sing their own stuff, and I got to try and think of the guy's name. I don't mind his music, but it's not mainstream. He keeps singing it, and he's got a certain following, but he knows he'll never be mainstream. But you know what? He goes, it's the music I love, it's the music I want to put out, and I don't give a fuck.
I still think that attitude's healthier, though.
If he's making a living... If he's
but,
making a living doing what he loves.
No, but the thing is, you see a lot of these bands and they break up because obviously everyone has a different, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to do this. But let's just say you were doing rhythm and blues, right? And you go, that's all I want to, I love it, I'm passionate about it, and you might really knock out some really good rhythm and blues songs, but it's not mainstream. You're never going to be up there with Elvis and Lady Gaga and fucking whoever, but you're really good at what you do, and you go, I'm not interested to go there. But you know that if that's where you've got the voice, and you could sing out someone else's pop song to get where you're at. And I remember I saw an interview once with that Will Smith. You know how he likes to...
Yeah.
And they tried to set him up with this guy that's been singing 30 years of singing blues. And he's really well known in the US. Don't ask me his name because I don't follow it that much. Okay. And they wanted him to sing a song with Thing. And he goes, he's going to perpetuate you up the ladder. And he goes, oh, no. The only reason why you're getting him to sing with me is because I got the song, number one, because he writes. Yeah. And he goes, and number two is he's going to use me to bounce himself.
Absolutely. That's how it works.
Which is fine. He goes,
how podcasts work as well. I mean, you got two people doing podcasts. They have a fan base. They get together and both help each other. And,
but
like, you got something like the Joe Rogan Experience, man. Your Twitter following is going to rise up the roof. That's how it works.
Yeah, but you know what he said?
Well.
He goes, I got 30 years of singing my shit. I ain't going to let this guy bounce off my work. He goes, I'm not going to leave this guy. He goes, because I don't like the way he sings and I don't like what he sings. He'll sing anything. He'll sing adverts for friggin' chocolate if it makes a buck, and I ain't interested in that. And he said,
but
fuck
you look at a band like Cog. Have you heard of Cog?
No, I haven't.
Like they're an Aussie sort of rock band that really heavily kind of spiritual, philosophical, what's going on in the world, and they were just making music like totally freaking homemade video clips. Had a bit of an underground following, and they made it to the extent that.
I gotta wind this thing down soon. I actually got another podcast with one of my friends. He's tried calling me. Let's.
We'll do a 5-minute rundown if that's cool with you, and let me just finish the Cog point.
Yep.
And Cog made their last album, which is called Sharing Space. It had a global following, sold global records, and they got invited to every festival under the sun. Record labels were after them. The point is, they fell apart the second that they had to interact with this industry thing on a daily basis. In a sense, I really think when people try to turn you into a product,
you gotta compromise.
It's something real. What you had, the magic that you have as an artist, some of it goes away, and certainly some people, through miracle of all miracles, maintain some integrity. I mean, I can't help but look at fucking Michael Jackson and go like, how the hell did you keep making such great music when...
Well, Michael Jackson, believe me, he would have had to make many compromises when he first signed to his major label.
But my point is, it's the rare example, even though his albums had a ton of shit songs and he did a ton of dumb shit, and his life was
dumb shit. He's Michael Jackson, man. What the fuck?
His life was ruined. His life was ruined by this thing that he excelled at. But nonetheless,
I see what you mean. Yeah, there.
At least in terms of music,
yes.
Steve wrote own stuff.
Not all of his stuff. A lot of stuff was co-written, man. Like
much of it.
Yeah, like first album.
No, but he was.
What's that? Quincy
Jones.
Quincy Jones. Yeah, that was
Stingers.
That was Thriller. But that was most of the tracks there were mainly what was produced by Quincy Jones. As far as the originality, I'm sure Michael Jackson had influence. Billie Jean was a song that he wrote. But you know how it works. You come up with a song, but the producer does most of the beats.
Michael Jackson.
It's not completely your work.
Wasn't writing music till really late on. He was actually making his own beats, like a beatbox, recording those. And
he tried doing that on the Invincible album, and it didn't go too well.
But nonetheless, I mean, the reason I brought him up is just like he's an example that he was, propped up on the mountain of artificialness and fakeness, and everything from his appearance to his skin wound up being plastic. And
then he made it, and then he was able to do what the hell he wanted to do.
Of that, he wasn't able to do what he wanted to do. Eventually
he was, bro.
I'm trying to say that at least
if he wasn't able to do what he wanted to do at the height of his career, no one is, man.
Some spirit survived, something legitimate and original and authentic was still in the music. Despite the industry. But in a sense, you're looking, if Michael Jackson is a success story, look how fucked up his life turned out. And that's a success story.
Yeah.
So if that is a success story, what the fuck is failure?
Well, for phenomenal greatness like Michael Jackson, always comes in an offset. That's like one of the alchemical laws, like you can't get something for nothing. It's just, that's just part. But the point that I want to, I kind of just get to is that at the end of the day you have to compromise something if you're going to get to the top. whether or not it's working your ass off or compromising the kind of music you do in order to appeal to.
God, working your ass off isn't compromise.
Well, it is because you're giving up a lot.
You're giving up something else.
Absolutely. This sounds crazy, but believe me, for the last 6 months, I have been working my ass off, like rehearsing 3 to 4 hours every single day. Believe it or not, I've been sprinting, I've been training purely just for my vocal ability, a whole bunch of stuff. If that's not compromise, and by doing that, I'm not having time to focus on, let's say, podcasts or having a 9-to-5 job and doing other stuff. There is definitely a compromise going on with any person that achieves greatness. That's when the idea of someone this is why I just have to address this. That's why the idea of someone just achieving tremendous amount of success so easily, right, without failure, to me seems like, what the frack? How the hell are you doing that? Because unless, of course, you're an absolute savant, chances are you're going to have to overcome hurdles. There's going to be some failure that's going to have to force you to grow.
I understand what you're saying about failure, but there's some people like you're talking about your father,
definitely,
which I really respect.
Awesome. So do I. It's just annoying to me.
If they put their mind to anything, they just know that they can achieve it.
Yeah.
Now whether they're like a savant and they just get it, it just happens, which is great. Good luck to them. But some guys, they can just work at it and it just comes. Because they're good at, and you find that with a lot of things. There's guys that can play sport, and they play one sport that's totally different to some other, yet they get to the peak of that one, and they go, no, I'll move on to this one, and they're at their peak in the other one. It's just an easy transition. And you go, how the fuck do you
I will give you one.
Once you see the way broadly, you see the way in all things. They become great at something that within the essence of that, they can apply that to whatever it is that they want to do. And it's that discipline that allows them to achieve that. It's not it comes from hard work. That's what I'm saying. And chances are,
I'll give you one thing.
I
will give you one thing in your mindset that I feel is wonderful and advanced, and it took me 28 years to get it. And you want to achieve something great, and it's much more fulfilling to fail repeatedly at an attempt to change the world than it is to be a freaking robot drone.
Absolutely.
Rotating
Fair enough.
through
I'm
some
100%.
system.
So I think to end this podcast, what do you want to be? Let's go around. What do you want to be? What do you want to end up being? What's your goal?
I want to make devices. I want to make devices that change the world, that help people meet their needs, and I want to have a comfortable living out of it. I don't need to make millions. I just want to wake up every morning knowing that the meals are there. I'm doing something I enjoy. So yeah, I wanna make a difference and enjoy what I'm doing, and that's pretty much in a rough sense. That could mean 100 different things.
Fantastic.
But that's it.
What do you want to be?
I'm gonna be brief in this one. I want to aspire to inspire until I expire. Period.
All right.
Leave it
Me,
there.
I got 2 choices. I want to be a dictator, run everything the way I want it to do, and fuck a lot of people over. That's number one.
No, that fuck a lot of people.
Well, that's it. No, if I was to run this country, I would change things tomorrow like you wouldn't believe. And I reckon the only way to change things in any country is you got to be a dictator. I mean, serious. You just say, this is the way it is. This is the way I want it. This is the way it's going to be, and that's it.
For another discussion.
But that's one way. And the second thing is, I'm very close to Sonny. If someone paid my bills, right? If I got my bills paid every week, I'd just like to go out into the back shed, tinker around and build stuff, and give it away. And I'm talking about things that will change the way things are. I want to give it away.
I don't know about the dictator thing though, man. Especially, come on, man. You got to let people do their own shit.
No, I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. The reason why I said that is because I see all these problems. I see this. Liberal Party does this, Labor Party does that. This politics and this whole politics thing is so bullshit because you're playing in their sandpit.
So if I
wanted to change the world tomorrow, and someone said, well, why don't you get a political party up? Or why don't you go out there and become? And you know what? I don't want to play in that sandpit because I know it's corrupt. And I know that you'll be forced to do things that you never want to do. That's true. So guess what? You get in there as a dictator.
You have the same mindset that every other great person has said that, look, I know the best way to govern this country, and you're going to do everything
No.
Or else.
No, that's what leads to
No, I'm
not going to say or else.
History's based on that
I
stuff.
understand that, but what I'm
that's
saying
the whole
is...
idea of dictatorship.
My
way or the highway.
No, my dictatorship would be the opposite.
Then it's not a dictatorship.
Well, alright, I have to pick up a new word.
I will like to say goodbye to the audience.
Ladies and gentlemen,
drop in the screen.
check out my website, Krishool.com. That's KRISHOOL.com. You can check out my music, my podcast there. Sunny Vice.
Introduce
TMR.
the song. You will send me an MP3. I'll put it at the end of this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
What song?
I
Introduce
have a
one.
track called You Could Be. It was probably one of the first tracks I wrote. It's on my album, Indefinable. Check that out.
You
Which
Could
is pretty
Be
popular.
coming up right
Peace
now.
out, guys. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
You can see me
I'll
on my
put it in
website.
Amanda
I'm the
Palmer
dictator.
track.
You guys are scholars and gentlemen. Appreciate the frack out of you.
Take care.
Mwah.
But who needs love when there's love? all sugary spices, it's nice, but it's not what I'm after. You should I admire, you should you inspire me, but should I not get it back so? I've waited the Sainsbury's counting my change, making bank, got me up, got me rusted, and will stop you. You're expert double X's. You're a big stockholder, extra code, 2 X's. That never talking thing you do is effective, it's effective. Your shoulders icy colder, boy, than a death wish, than a wish. But who needs love when there's law and order? Who needs love when there's dukes of hazzard? Who needs love when the sandwiches are wicked and they know you at the back store? Gosh, I'm so excited. The blacks in me dead. Gosh, I'm getting frightened. When I think about Leeds United. The blacks in me dead. Someday, Leeds United. Thank you so much. You guys have been wonderful. I will see you next time. If you know anybody in Colorado, tell them to come to our show. You guys are fabulous. I'll hopefully see you over there. And thank you so much. Have an amazing night. I love you guys.
After recently doing it, it is not a reality TV show in the sense that they're basically not just filming what's going on there. It's like a movie, and you're all playing roles. I mean, the amount of times they will get you to do something over and over again, like you just gone through one round, you're like, yes, that's freaking awesome, I can't believe you got through that, and your friends are there, and they're like, the cameraman's like, hey man, can you just do that again, what you just did, so I can get that? That was what, you want me to do that? Yeah, it's just perfectly, just as you did it right there. And you see people reacting this shit, because they're not actors, it looks so fake and so awkward. Every single thing that you do, from walking out to register to practicing, it's not scripted in the sense they want to tell you exactly what to do, but they'll tell you exactly what to do.
Unless you're doing what you're meant to be doing, they'll tell you, can you just like walk a little bit?
I know. I look, just over the weekend, I went through the X Factor auditions. It is one of the most draining processes, because there are all these preliminary rounds. What people don't realize is that there are so many other rounds that you have to go through, even before you get to the freaking judges and you perform. You got to go through the singing coaches. You got to go through the producers, the executive producers. Then they make sure that you're gonna have the right image, all this kind of stuff. And then even when you get through to boot camp and you make the final 12 before you,
If you ever wound up in front of like one of those panels of judges,
absolutely, several times, man.
Like,
it's fun. Like,
tell me about the first time.
First time I went up, you know, really, really psyched. Went with my friends. I had like 6, 8 of them there, which wasn't a good idea because they had to wait the entire day with me, and I felt their nervousness for me, and it's like all your friends are waiting on you, you know, the last 12 hours just before you go up in front of the judges, and you're like, oh shit, they're really counting on me right now. It was really, really stressful, and look, you finally get up there, and you know, you're completely psyched up. The producers have told you that, look, you're absolutely amazing and all this kind of stuff. Then you finally get in front of the judges, and it is so. First of all, it is so unbelievably hard, right, to get into the next round. The judges, you need to absolutely blow those judges away. Like, even if you're let's say you put on a really, really good performance and all this kind of stuff, unless of course you meet their criteria. I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're thinking, but I feel as if, look, when I first went up, look, 2 of the judges ended up saying yes, the other 2 said no. The crowd was really much on my side. They're all saying, come on, yeah. And the guy, Sebastian, was a little reluctant to put me through, but finally said yes because the crowd was on my side. Ronan, who I freaking worship, man. Like, he was like, look, man.
You performed in front of these people.
Yeah,
Wow, man.
he said I was...
So who was on the panel?
Well, when I was there, it was Ronan, Guy Sebastian, Natalie, what's her name? I can't remember. Yeah, and then this pop stars girl. Who was the girl that actually really liked me. She just said yes straight away, but Ronan gave me the biggest hard time, because I'm really arrogant when I'm on stage. I'm like, yo, what's my name? All that kind of shit, you know? We love you, all that kind of shit. I try to play it up, like hardcore. And Ronan freaking hated that shit, you know? He's like, you know, you
in genres, and yet, you know, you're in a classroom, and this level of conformity is such that out of a choice of a million artists and a billion songs, they all know the same 20, and they're all chanting along.
Well, can I add to that?
Yeah.
When you go into a workshop, right, where guys my age, I'm in my 40, I'm 40 now.
Yeah.
And I walk into these workshops, and there's guys.
Bro, you just turned 40 yet?
No, I'm a bit old.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, you look younger.
Yeah, I know. So I go to these workshops, and I see guys my age, and they're working in their desk and doing their job, and they're playing a different radio station, commercial as well, but they play all the 80s and 90s hits, right? And these guys know them. In the back of their mind, they grew up with that stuff, and they've played them their whole life. And I think the thing is, to me, I hate it. I can't stand the music. I mean, I love the music at that time, but I will not go to work and listen to it. Because what I think it does is it just keeps them in that mindset of, you know, when they were growing up, the good times and all the stuff, and they're working these mundane, boring jobs. But in the back of their mind, they're going, you know, when this song came out, I was doing this, and I was going out with her. It's a mind control thing. I'm 100% sure it's to keep you in that perpetual, everything's okay.
That is, you know, like, alright, we've kind of opened up, like, how pervasive and, in a way, conformist and possibly even mind controlling.
I personally think it is.
True.
But some of it is awesome. Like, there are, I would say, 1 in 10 pop songs I'm gonna, like, jump around when I hear. I mean, much of the stuff that Michael Jackson did, you know. I mean, Guns N' Roses were mainstream, you know. Nirvana was mainstream, but even the odd Kanye West song, you know, I really like. But look, here's a question that I have.
Is it mind control?
How do you? No. Like, how does somebody make it? Like, where do these people get
Oh, this is a really good question.
pulled up into the system, you know?
I was just you're talking about in the music industry in particular? Yeah. Well, I would say at the moment, it's changed a lot over the last 10 years because of these reality shows like X Factor, Australian Idol, all that kind of stuff. And I suppose I can speak quite openly about this kind of stuff because I recently just went through the auditions and all that.
You've been through a few,
several.
You've been through what?
You know, my band did X Factor a while back. You know, we made it boot camp, and then I tried it again. I've done Australian Idol a few times, Pop Stars, all that kind of stuff. Met a few of them, and recently I went through the process. And people, first of all, to answer your question, right? Most of the people that we see making in the industry in this day and age, like really big time. I mean, besides a few, obviously it's different. Obviously on some level, but for the most part, what I'm trying to say is that we see most of the big artists coming out through these reality TV shows or through shows like Neighbours and where they get all this viewership, because it's so hard for an artist to get that kind of sway unless of course you're well known. That's why, unless of course you're in something like the X Factor, it's really hard to get the kind of fan base that you require in order to get signed to a massive label. And it's people have a completely like misguided attitude as to what goes on in the show. Like, you come across as, you think you're better than you actually are, and you come across as cocky.
You have to be.
No, he actually said that to me, and I'm like, oh man, how do I respond to this? And bottom line was he thought I was a bit too kind of, you know, full on, didn't like me that much. I ended up saying no. You know, Nat, you know, just definitely, you know, just didn't like me. Ended up saying no, and Guy reluctantly said yes. Other girl said no, and
so you got
yeah,
two.
Sorry, I got two, and it was such an emotional bummer because for the last, you know, several months, I mean, there's the whole audition process, right? Here's the thing. It starts, let's say, it might start in December, okay? Go through all of these auditions, right? And then in May, you might, after going through all these preliminary auditions, you finally get up to the judges, and then you perform. And it's like, throughout all of that, you're going through all of these different stages, and like, you build up so much nervous energy, just hoping that this is going to come to fruition. And you finally get to the day, and sometimes it feels like it's such a tremendous thing that you have to overcome just to even get on the show. I mean, I know people that, I know I'm digressing a lot over here, but I know people that have actually gone into boot camp and made the final 12 and haven't even been featured on the show at all. There was a girl. A lot of this, they won't even show a lot of the performers unless, of course, there is something really, really interesting about them. In fact, you're not going to get on that show based on three things. You have to basically you get on that show if you're in one of these three categories. If you're either really, really entertaining, you're really, really bad, or you're really, really good. And there are a lot of people.
There's one more.
What?
I noticed because my wife watches The Voice, right? No, I don't watch it. But she said any girl over the age of 30, doesn't matter what she looks like, she's not getting in, right? That's it. And she says, I can't see the judges every time. They're supposed to be listening to The Voice, but they're not because they're coming in and they're going, oh, no, she's not good enough.
Is that all right? Well, I don't know.
And the other thing she says,
I've watched the show like once, and to be honest, like the one thing that kind of hurts me, like this notion that you're right, that you're vying for the approval of these four people, right, who generally themselves
aren't great.
Were just products. I mean, somebody liked their face or some aspect of their voice, gave them some songs to sing, and occasionally, I'm sure Ronan Keating wrote a bunch of his music, but for the most part, people there. Natalie Imbruglia is talented, but I don't know, what the fuck, Guy Sebastian, some guy with an afro singing.
Look, they're all accomplished singers, accomplished performers, no doubt about it. I'm not taking any away from them. I'm just saying that it's a really hard grilling process.
But I'm trying to say this, you're trying to get approval of these four people, and you're trying to make yourself sound appealing to this broad.
You've got to be different, though. You've got to bring something that's different to everyone else.
Here's my thing, right? Amanda Palmer, Amanda Palmer?
No.
That's my point, all right? Amanda Palmer had this little band called the Dresden Dolls. She's like a really kind of artsy thing, and she's bloody good. She's amazing. At the end of this podcast, we're gonna play one of Krishool's songs.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get you an original, and I'll play something from Amanda Palmer. But long story short, she's awesome.
On top of Old Horror Hill, in a secret laboratory, Professor Weirdo and Count Kook were in their monstrous glory. 6 drops of the essence of terror, 5 drops of sinister sauce. When the stirring's done...
All right, welcome everybody. This is a new format we're doing. It's called TMR Launge. See, the podcast thing is much due to my OCD, done in a very structured manner. We probably write out 5 pages of scripts and ideas and structure it some way. And sometimes we just want to talk and have fun, and we're a bit lazy. And so this is what we're going to do when we have nice house guests or no plans for anything elaborate. And with us today, we got Krishool here, who has his own podcast. And perhaps he's one of the inspirations for the TMR podcast because he had me and Chris on.
No, stop it. You started your own podcast because you're an exhibitionist like me and you love talking. Come on, let's be real over here.
Well, there's an element of that.
I may have had something to do with it.
You were an excuse, and a rather helpful one. But again, we have no plan, no clue what we're going to talk about. So let's start. Let's start with you, dude.
Let's find out who your corporate sponsor is today.
My corporate sponsor? Yeah, we were just talking a while ago just about how when you're trying to get something going, like a podcast, you kind of have to choose between marketing yourself, doing the whole corporate kind of like, I want to be all proper and not say any controversial stuff and only not talk about UFOs or talk about religion. Or you can kind of just be real and talk about what the hell you want to talk about. And I think that's what podcasts are about. The whole idea is that people get to see what you're really like they're having a conversation with you. And you're not trying to tailor your information to a particular demographic. You're just speaking. People listen to a podcast and they know who you are, as opposed to me putting on this voice over here and saying, "Oh yes, as you can see, I'm an intellectual and I only talk about very, very important things." And
no,
I don't want you to get the right.
I gotta disagree with that in some way. In a point that when we talk about a subject that we want to pick, we got to study it, we got to go through it. So you're not really getting our personal opinion, because sometimes we do have to play devil's advocate, even if we agree with what we're talking about, because we want that conversation to flow backwards and forwards. But now, in this particular podcast, we can talk about anything. We can say whatever we feel like.
It should be y'all.
The idea really, behind the structure is, if you're talking about a topic, you see, we live in a world of opinions. People go out, they watch the news, and they're told what to think, and then they parrot it out. Or maybe they watch alternative media, which also tells them what to think. It might even be true, but they never actually check out the facts. They just parrot out what they hear. And,
most of the time.
I'd like to start, podcasts with, if we're talking about a topic, I'd like to dig up some actual facts And then you see, like, well, this is how some people think the facts connect. This is how other people think they connect. And sort of this is what our speculation is. But, like, people learn something that they didn't know about the topic. But, you know...
I respect that. You don't want to be giving out, crappy information out there. That's one of the things I love about the Joe Rogan experience. Like, every time they bring up an issue, they're always on their laptop, checking out facts and trying to get the information as legit as they can. Because, I mean, when you're doing a podcast, it's actually getting a lot of viewers. You send out spurious information, then a few days later, everyone's like, you don't know what you're talking about. This is completely wrong. You'll have physicists that are challenging you on your notions of how the universe works and things like that. And yeah, the fact of the matter is that people are going to call you out on your shit in this day and age. So you better make sure that you got your,
But then there's complex world situations and issues, and then there's people. I think people are, and people's stories and their perspectives are about as interesting. Maybe not as valuable for you to live your life tomorrow and make decisions about, how your family is going to survive and thrive, but certainly as interesting as just about anything. And Krishool is one of the most interesting people I know.
Oh, stop it, man. That's
Dude,
ridiculous.
no, seriously,
like
tell us.
Completely insane, bro.
Yeah. It's not about the views, man. It's the shit you do. All right, like this dude started off doing video game design and programming, and then wound up in IT, and then wound up wanting to be a singer, and he is a singer and a performer, and then now he has a podcast.
Well,
and now I've heard
I have to look at it like this. Look, deep down, I've always been the exhibitionist, been a performer. My main passion has always been music, performing, serenading serenaders as you do. But you know how it is. Your parents always want you to become a doctor. I'm sure as hell not going to be a doctor. Not smart enough for that. So you end up kind of meeting halfway and doing some kind of nerdy topic. And I always loved the idea of creating as a kid. And I got into programming computer games and QBasic and all that kind of stuff. But within all of that, I always wanted to be a singer. But I just figured it's not practical for me to finish high school and get a job as and do some performing arts course. It's not really going to do anything. So I just went about doing my course. And then I realized how much I hated software engineering, and look, eventually ended up slipping into what I really love doing, which is performing, singing, dancing, acting, being a complete fool. And
dude, all right, let's, I think we can get into something quite interesting here. We live in an environment where we're drowning in pop culture. Mm-hmm. And very often I'd say it's for the worse. Just the other day, I was filling in this technology class, and there's a bunch of girls there that's saying, "Oh, we're drawing this. Do you mind if we listen to the radio?" Turn on the commercial radio. I think, I don't know which one it was, some crap, Nova or Fox or something like that. And literally, man, for an hour straight, these girls are singing along to it. They know every word of every freaking song. And I can't tell the difference. They all sound the same. It's always this doof, doof bass line. And it's this, baby.
Well, what's wrong with that, man?
But, seriously.
What's wrong with people enjoying themselves, having a good time?
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm talking... we've been making good music for 50 years, man. Like Jimi Hendrix, it's been a while. And there's a million